Welcome to our channel. Today, we pause to remember a life that touched hearts and left a lasting impact. We'll explore their journey, the challenges they faced, and the moments that made them unforgettable. Join us as we honor their story, celebrate their legacy, and reflect on the memories that will continue to inspire and live on in the hearts of those who knew them. The newsroom lights felt softer that morning in Atlanta. On February 4, 2026, tragic news was confirmed. Wes Sarginson, one of the most trusted voices in the city's history, had passed away at the age of 82. He had been battling esophageal cancer. For many across Georgia, the loss felt deeply personal. For decades, Wes Sarginson was more than a journalist. He was a steady presence. A calm voice at the end of a long day. A familiar face who spoke with warmth and quiet understanding. He built his career in local television, earning the respect of viewers who valued honesty over noise. In a time when headlines often moved fast, Wes moved with care. He listened. He paused. He made sure every story carried the weight it deserved. But it was his beloved segment, Wes Side Stories, that truly shaped his legacy. Through those weekly features, he turned the camera away from fame and toward everyday people. Teachers. Firefighters. Small business owners. Neighbors helping neighbors. He believed that real heroes did not seek attention. They simply showed up. In one interview years ago, he explained his mission in simple words. If we look closely, he said, we'll see that kindness is happening all around us. That belief guided him for decades. Viewers trusted him because he never spoke down to them. He spoke with them. Born and raised in the South, Wes understood the rhythm of his community. He began his journalism career at a small local station, learning every role from reporting to editing. Over time, his steady work ethic and natural empathy brought him into larger markets. Yet no matter how successful he became, he always returned to Atlanta. The city became his home. And he became part of its identity. Colleagues remember his quiet leadership inside the newsroom. He was known for arriving early, often with handwritten notes and careful questions prepared. He encouraged younger reporters to slow down and find the heart of a story. One longtime producer shared, Wes didn't chase drama. He chased truth. And he did it with dignity. Even during difficult times, natural disasters, local tragedies, moments of fear, his voice remained calm. He did not inflame emotion. He helped steady it. When he announced his cancer diagnosis privately to close friends, he asked for one thing. He did not want sympathy. He wanted the focus to stay on the stories that mattered. In his final months, he stepped away from regular appearances. The absence was noticeable. Viewers sent letters. They left comments online. Many shared how his reports had inspired them to volunteer, to reconnect with family, or simply to look at their neighbors with more kindness. After his passing, tributes quickly filled social media. Atlanta's mayor released a statement saying, Wes Sarginson helped define the spirit of our city. He reminded us that our greatest strength is our compassion. A former student journalist wrote, because of Wes, I chose this career. He showed me that telling someone's story is a responsibility, not just a job. Inside the station where he worked for so many years, a quiet photo of Wes now rests near the entrance. Staff members say the building feels different. Quieter. But also filled with gratitude. Beyond awards and ratings, his greatest achievement was trust. For over 4 decades, families invited him into their living rooms. They listened as he told stories that felt close to home. He never forgot that privilege. His family described him as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. In a brief statement, they said, he believed in people. He believed in community. And he believed that every life has value. That belief shaped everything he did. Wes Sarginson did not seek fame beyond his city. He did not chase national attention. Instead, he focused on the power of local stories. The small victories. The quiet heroes. The kindness that often goes unseen. In doing so, he helped Atlanta see itself more clearly. He showed that journalism could still be gentle. That truth could still be delivered with care. That storytelling could build bridges instead of walls. Today, the cameras continue to roll. The news still airs. But for many, something feels missing. His voice. His steady tone. The way he ended his segments with hope, even after hard news. Wes Sarginson will be remembered not only as a broadcaster, but as a builder of community. A man who believed that light could be found in ordinary places. And though the newsroom lights may seem softer now, the stories he told still echo across Atlanta, in the people he honored, the lives he touched, and the kindness he helped bring into focus. His voice may be silent, but his impact will continue to speak for generations to come. In a quiet corner of Paris, where rehearsal rooms once rang with laughter, tragic news was confirmed. Philippe Gallier, the legendary theater teacher who changed the way actors understood comedy and truth, has passed away at the age of 82. He died due to lung complications, leaving behind a world of students who now carry his lessons forward. For many, he was not just a teacher. He was a guide. A challenger. A man who believed that laughter revealed the soul. Born in 1943 in Paris, Gallier grew up in a city rich with art and performance. From a young age, he was drawn to the stage. But he did not seek fame as a performer. He was more interested in what made an audience laugh, and why. Over time, he developed a bold idea. Acting, he believed, was not about pretending. It was about honesty. If the audience did not laugh, he would say gently but firmly, then something was not true. In the 1980s, he founded the famous École Philippe Gallier in Paris. It was not a typical drama school. There were no easy compliments. No false praise. Students quickly learned that Gallier valued vulnerability above all. He would sit in the front row during exercises, watching closely. Sometimes he would smile. Sometimes he would shake his head. His feedback was simple and direct. Be more stupid, he once told a nervous student, meaning not foolish, but free. Free from fear. Free from trying too hard. His methods were challenging. Yet they were deeply human. Actors from around the world traveled to study with him. Many later became respected performers, directors, and teachers. Some credited him with transforming their careers. One former student shared after his passing, "Philippe taught us that the audience is our partner. If they laugh, you are alive. If they don't, you must listen." Another wrote on social media, "He was strict, but he was right. He pushed us to find joy, even in failure." Gallier believed that failure was not shameful. It was necessary. He often told students that bombing on stage was part of the journey. What mattered was courage. His classroom was filled with emotion. Laughter would echo down the hall. But so would silence. He created a space where students faced their fears openly. Though his school moved locations over the years, its spirit remained the same. It welcomed artists from Europe, America, Asia, and beyond. Language barriers did not matter. Laughter, he believed, was universal. Despite his global influence, Gallier lived simply. He did not chase celebrity status. He cared about the craft. about the work happening in the room. In interviews, he spoke softly about his philosophy. "The clown," he once said, "shows the audience his heart." That belief shaped his teaching for decades. News of his death spread quickly across the theater community. Tributes poured in from actors, directors, and former students. A well-known stage director in London said, "Without Philippe, modern comedy would not sound the same. He changed the rhythm of how we perform." His family released a brief statement, saying, "Philippe believed in laughter as a form of truth. He dedicated his life to helping others find their voice." Beyond technique, his greatest lesson was courage. He encouraged performers to stand in front of strangers and risk looking foolish. To risk silence. To risk honesty. Because in that risk, he believed, there was connection. Generations of actors now carry his teachings into theaters around the world. In small black box spaces. In grand opera houses. In street performances and comedy clubs. His influence cannot always be seen. But it can be felt, in the pause before a punchline, in the fearless grin of a clown, in the actor who dares to be vulnerable. Philippe Gallier did not simply teach acting. He taught freedom. As stages dim in his memory, the laughter he inspired continues to echo far beyond Paris. In every brave performance. In every honest smile shared between actor and audience. Though the master of laughter has taken his final bow, the joy he awakened will live on, bright, bold, and beautifully human. On the morning of February 11, 2026, a quiet wave of sadness moved across social media. Tragic news was confirmed. James Van Der Beek had passed away at the age of 48. For many who grew up in the late 1990s, the loss felt personal. It felt like saying goodbye to a familiar part of their youth. He was best known for his role as Dawson Leary on Dawson's Creek. The series followed a group of teenagers navigating love, friendship, and growing up in a small coastal town. But it was James's emotional honesty that made the character unforgettable. With soft-spoken words and tear-filled eyes, he gave voice to feelings many young people did not know how to express. Born in Connecticut in 1977, James showed an early interest in acting. He pursued theater as a teenager and later moved to New York to follow his dream. Like many young actors, he faced rejection. But he remained steady and focused. When he was cast as Dawson, his life changed almost overnight. The show became a cultural moment. Teenagers gathered each week to watch stories that felt real and close to home. James became the face of that movement. He portrayed vulnerability without shame. In interviews, he once reflected, "Dawson taught me that it's okay for young men to feel deeply." That quiet message stayed with viewers long after the series ended. After Dawson's Creek concluded, he did not rush to repeat the same role. Instead, he explored different paths. He appeared in films, independent projects, and even took on comedic roles that surprised fans. He showed that he was more than one character. Over time, he also embraced fatherhood and family life. Friends often described him as grounded and thoughtful. Away from cameras, he valued privacy and connection. In recent years, he spoke openly about the pressures of early fame. He encouraged young actors to protect their mental health and stay true to themselves. His words were calm and sincere. Following news of his passing, tributes poured in from former co-stars and fans. One actress who worked alongside him wrote, "James had a gentle spirit. He listened more than he spoke, and when he spoke, it mattered." A fan posted online, "He helped me through my teenage years. Watching Dawson cry made me feel less alone." His family released a brief statement asking for privacy. They shared, "James believed in kindness, in storytelling, and in the power of family. He carried those values in every chapter of his life. Though his career began with a single defining role, it did not end there. He continued to evolve, taking creative risks and supporting new voices in entertainment. He understood that growth was part of the journey. For many, he represented a time when television felt intimate. When stories unfolded slowly. When characters spoke about dreams, heartbreak, and hope in long conversations under open skies. James Van Der Beek captured that era with sincerity. His passing at 48 feels far too soon. Yet the moments he gave to audiences remain untouched. Scenes of young love. Conversations about fear. The simple courage of being honest. His work continues to stream in homes around the world. New generations discover the show. Old fans return to it, hearing familiar dialogue and remembering where they were when they first watched. He will be remembered not only as Dawson Leary, but as an actor who showed that vulnerability is strength. That emotion is not weakness. That storytelling can shape how a generation understands itself. As screens glow once more with reruns and memories, his image remains steady, thoughtful, searching, human. James Van Der Beek may have taken his final bow, but the feelings he helped millions name and understand will live on. And in that quiet honesty, his legacy endures.